Hello, have you ever felt like everyone else is going forward, but you seem to be standing? Everybody seems to be making progress in their life, but it's as though, I shouldn't put it this way. Have you ever felt like the son that was left behind when the prodigal son left the house? A lot of times when we read the Bible, we seem to understand the prodigal son, all that he went through, and we all feel his pain. But sometimes you really get to a point where you feel like you are the son that was left behind when the prodigal son left. And then he went to squander everything, and then he comes back, and the father welcomes him with an open arm, throws a party for him, and you were in the house all this while. No party was thrown for you. I don't know how many of you have felt that way before. I have felt that way countless times. And sometimes I sit back to ask God, what is wrong with me? Is it that God is waiting for me to also mess up before he now comes back and say, oh, my child, come on, let me throw you a party, you know? And I hope I'm not the only one who has ever felt this way though, but that is just about it. That there are times that you really feel like you deserve to be somewhere else, but you are not there yet. Okay. And you feel like everybody is going and you are just there. It's like you're waiting for people to go and come and tell you what is happening in their lives. Yeah, it does happen a lot of times. And that's exactly what happens to us sometimes. Not that you are being envious of people, but just because things are not working in your life, you begin to, you are looking at what other people are doing. And these days of social media, you have the liberty to look at what you don't even want to look at. You see everybody on social media doing well. And so, not everything on social media is true. Let's begin from there. And so you can't just be looking at people on social media and think that your life is messed up, your life is not moving forward. Some other times we seem to be worried the more because we've put some timelines and expectation on our own lives when it is God's timing that we all know is the best. And so we put timelines like, oh, by this age I want to be done with school, by this age I want to be married, by this age I want to have children, by this age I should have my mansion, by this age I should, all of that. And yet, at the end of the day, it is God's timing that is the best. And so as we don't know the timing of God, we begin to get agitated. It's like, nothing is happening in my life. A whole year, a whole 2 years, there's nothing to write home about with my life. There's nothing to testify with my life. But until we get to the point where we are able to say, no, God's timing is the best. That's it. We will be worried for nothing. Because at the end of the day, people will always be making progress. No matter how far you come in life. Right now, maybe you are looking for food to eat. And everybody around you is eating. And you're like, well, how is everybody eating and I'm hungry? And you're so worried. By the time you get food, those people that were eating when you were hungry, they now own restaurants. You get worried again by the people that have restaurants around you. And so if you don't take care, that state of you being worried will never end, because at every point in time, there is somebody that is going to be ahead of you. The solution for you is that you are not in competition with anybody. You're not comparing yourself with anybody. Are you comfortable where you are? That's fine. If you're not comfortable, you are looking at yourself and you are praying to God. You are working towards you becoming better, and not that you want to be like somebody else. Because at the end of the day, you can't sit back and worry just because someone else is doing better than you are doing. Now, the issue of you having to wait for the timing of God is very, very important and very, very delicate sometimes. Sometimes I sit back and I ask myself, am I really waiting for the will of God, or I'm just wasting away? It happens. I don't know if you have ever thought of it, because a lot of times I sit back and am I really waiting for the will of God, or I'm just there, I'm just being lazy? Am I looking for a job and waiting for God to give me a job, or I'm just being lazy in the house, or I've just given up? But because you can actually get to a point where you give up, but you have the face of oh, I'm waiting on God. But in your inner being, in between you and yourself, you have given up on hope. You have given up on the timing of God. You are just there. You're like, oh, whatever should come, should come. How did David say? Whatever can come. There's a problem with waiting that a lot of us seem not to acknowledge at some times. The point where you get and then you have the face of one that is waiting, but in between you and yourself, you know that you are not waiting anymore. You have given up on hope, but you look on the outward, you look like one that is actually waiting on God, but you are not. You have given up on hope. You are not doing anything towards the things that you are expecting, the miracle that you're expecting. You are not doing anything about it, but you are telling us that you are waiting for God's timing. Just so that if it never comes, you go like, oh, it is God that didn't want to give me. That is the deception that I think the devil brings our way sometimes. What you have to do is that you keep hoping. You keep hoping and you keep working towards that hope. Your actions show that you believe that you will have the things that you are praying for. Your action shows that you are hoping for something. Your action shows that you believe that in His time He will make all things beautiful. And so if I am looking for a job, if I am trusting God to give me a job, I don't just give up one day and say that, no, I'm done. I'm not even sending out applications again. So I'll keep sending the applications. If I find something small, some small job around, I'm doing it. I'm not saying, oh, per my qualifications, I expect to be getting something big. And so as I have not received that job that pays that amount of money that I'm expecting, I'm going to sit around and lazy about. You find something doing. Funny enough, sometimes the small things that you begin to do in your waiting times, they seem to eventually become the things that you were really supposed to have. They become bigger, they grow in your hands. You do not expect that this small business that you are going to start, because you are still looking for a job, will grow into a company. But you started it anyways. You started it because you wanted to have something doing whilst you still wait on God's will. And so that small business becomes something huge. That small training that you decided to get whilst waiting, it becomes something huge in your hands. It becomes a seed in your hands. And then it blossoms into something beautiful. I don't want to talk for long. I think I've already spoken for long. But all I'm saying is that it is okay to feel left behind sometimes. But don't remain in that feeling. Because if you remain in that feeling, that state, it will bring you to a point of jealousy, to a point of covetousness. And that, you know, is not right for you as a Christian. It will put you at a place where you cannot even grow again. Okay? And so you can't sit and say that you trust God and your actions are telling us that you've given up. You're not behind. You're not being slow. You're actually not even in competition with anyone. Let's begin from there. You are moving at the pace that God wants you to move at. As far as you are a Christian and you know that you are walking in the will of God, just know that eventually, everything will be okay. If you won't take anything with you from this video, I want you to take this with you, that eventually everything will what? Everything will be okay. Again, my name is Abigail and I'm super excited to be here. I hope that you've been spoken to, you've been inspired by this video. Please, I'd love for you to like this video, comment under it. If you have any questions you want to ask me, you're free to ask me. I hope that I'll be able to answer every question that you have. If I don't have, I'll consult people that would have answers and I'll bring it here for you. Again, subscribe, like, share and comment under this video. Thank you very much, and this is me signing off.